Welcome to week 2 of the South Plains College Coaches Show. Pleased to be joined by head coach of the South Plains College Track and Field Program, Mr. Erik Vance. Coach Vance, you're back in week 2 this week. You're going to San Angelo. You get 18 national qualifying marks last week. Talk about some of the things you liked and some of the things you need to see improvement on this week.
Well, obviously we talked about this last week, that it was going to be an interesting season, and it definitely has been thus far. Getting 18 marks right out of the gate was a good start. We got a lot of freshman kids that hadn't qualified. Had some good marks, had some PRs. I was really proud of what my ladies did on the horizontal side. Onara and Deja went out like it was nothing, knocked out qualifying marks in both long and triple. I think Onara's leading the nation in the triple. Deja top 5, I think, in both of them. So to get both of those out of the way, that was really nice. Really happy with Romaine Beckford and what he did in the high jump, and I know we talked about him before. And he's probably going to be a guy we're going to be talking about all the time, just because that's the kind of athlete he is, and he performs pretty much every time he goes out. So happy for him to get that. It's pretty good jump, and had a real good shot at a big jump that'd be one of the top all-time jumps. He's moving up potentially on the all-time list. What else? We had good hurdle race. We had 4 guys in the hurdles, and it was all 4 of our guys, and they all got the qualifying marks, so happy with that. Got both our 4x4s qualified. Not necessarily happy with where the times are. I think we've got better, but we may not have put our top 4 all on the same relay out there on either side. But overall, pretty good meet last week. But we do have some areas we can get better.
Being you had such a long layoff, nearly 10 months, was it kind of something you expected? Were the marks kind of what you expected to see coming in after such a long, downtime?
Yes and no. Like, it has been a long time since we compete, and it's hard to mimic competition in practice. We do our best to kind of do that, but at the end of the day, there's something different about when you get a gun and you get in the blocks and you've got to go. And between the layoff for from competing and then essentially the layoff for being gone. I mean, we had kids that when we came back in January we hadn't seen in 10 weeks, which we really never go that long other than maybe summer without seeing them. So I expected some rust. There were places where I expected we'd handle the conditions better. We didn't have a perfect day by any stretch as far as the weather's concerned. We could have used another 5-10 degrees of temperature and a little more sunlight. And, we had a little rain, so it was not easy conditions. But we need to get better some places, mentally and physically. So, but I think on the other side of that, I think I've seen what we were doing in practice, so I think we're capable of it. I think we just need to do a little better, and I think this week's going to be better.
Yeah. Obviously, Onara, Romaine, those are kids you knew what to expect coming in. Who surprised you, if at all, last week, and some of the newcomers you're happy with?
One that kind of stood out and did really well, Shanzavia Lewis. Shanzavia Lewis from Monroe, Louisiana. Actually had a really, really good day, won the 60. Had it not been probably for a restart in the 200, I think would have run a pretty good 200 as well. Ran a good leg on the 4x4. Like he showed a lot of things. He looked really good there. I thought Mehdi, he ran a really good 600. Thought he did well. On the women's side, obviously Rosemary ran well. I thought Success ran well. She's a newcomer from Nigeria. She did a good job. And I mean, I didn't feel like any of our freshmen that we had sunk from the moment necessarily. I just think we outthought ourselves in some places.
Yeah. You go to Angelo this week, obviously a place you're familiar with. You know the guys down there. Talk about what you want to see this weekend and the excitement kind of going in for another shot.
We're trying to impress upon them that we've got to treat everyone like it could be our last chance to qualify, and that's our biggest thing. And we're just hammering home the fact that we need qualifying marks. Like, we have to get in the meet. If you want to be competitive, you have to get in the meet. And that's really what I'm looking forward to. Coach Dibburn down there runs a good program, got a good team, so we'll have some good competition there. I'm think we'll see some good things from Western and Wayland as well. But really, it's all about the numbers. Like that's all we're about this week is numbers, and we'd sure like to see another 18, 20, and get that number up to 35, 40 marks, pretty soon here, so we can looking at a good chance to make some noise at the national meet.
Yeah. Obviously, you're a track guy. On the opposite side of that, you're a sports fan. You got a big game Sunday, Patrick Mahomes, Super Bowl. Who you got? Brady? Are you going with the GOAT? Or are you going with old Pat?
It's tough. It's tough. If you're looking at it from a track guy perspective, I think you've got to go with the Chiefs.
Tyreek Hill.
They have a track team on offense between those weapons that they have. I would take any of those guys on that. We could find a place to put all those guys that play skill positions for the Chiefs. I could find a place to put any of them on my track team. So I guess if we're picking from a track coach perspective, I got to take the Chiefs, and I think they're going to win by about 5.
What's the obviously you'll probably fire up the grill. You're a big grill guy. What's the choice of entrees come Sunday?
We're still
debating,
menu planning a little bit. I'm thinking probably we're headed towards some ribs, but We'll see how the meet goes Saturday, and see how early I want to get up and get ready to go, and how long we want to cook for. But I'm thinking ribs is the play right now.
Well, you can't ever go wrong there.
No.
Coach, we appreciate your time. Good luck on Saturday, and we'll talk to you next week.
Sounds good. Thanks, Jordan.